1 year ago today, I tapped into a discovery that was revolutionary. Something that allowed me to put my childhood confusion to rest. These small cinnamon squares held one of the world's greatest secrets. But, just like in life, there is often more than one question being asked. Our universe is made up of so many mysteries, oddities, and wonders that have yet to be discovered. These small treasures that lie just waiting to be opened. I feel I have been blessed to be the first one to share the truth. When I was younger, I used to watch all kinds of cartoons. Cartoon Network was my absolute jam. But when Boomerang rolled out, I was given access to a whole library of content I wasn't even aware existed. Old TV shows that probably inspired the shows I watched as a kid. Cartoons that had existed long before I was even born. Of course, I did my best to watch them all. When I wasn't gaming, I was surely indulging elsewhere. However, probably the oldest cartoon I had experienced was the Flintstones. This quirky tale of a family living in prehistoric times with labor-powered cars and dinosaurs for pets. Of course, it wasn't long until I saw this prehistoric granddad pop up on another medium that was dear to me. And that was in the realm of breakfast cereal. The vitamins were a little weird to me, but I suppose we had those too. These small Fruity Pebbles were something I often overloaded on as a kid, and I would bounce off the walls from their delicate sugary crunch. However, as time went on, I grew confused as the commercials continued to roll out over the years. Barney Rubble, who was supposed to be Fred Flintstone's best friend, always seemed to be in an odd position. While they often got along in the TV show, in the commercials they seemed to be adversaries. If Fred had come up with some sort of breakfast cereal, surely he would have plenty to share. But he never does. Barney is always on the outside looking in, and is put in a position where he feels as if he has to trick Fred into giving them to him. Why is Fred so adamant about keeping these pebbles away from Barney? What is he trying to hide? As a kid, I was completely perplexed. It was one of those things that you eventually had to shrug off, as you felt you would never truly know the answer. Life goes on, and you grow up. But looking back at it now, having gone through this crazy journey of life, I noticed something. It wasn't until my earlier discovery with those sweet cinnamon squares that I began to look at life differently. And if Cinnamon Toast Crunch was hiding its secrets, surely Fruity Pebbles had something up its sleeve as well. And that's when it hit me. Fruity Pebbles are just that, fruit-flavored rocks. In the world of the Flintstones, where everything is based off a stone, even their food is derived from stone in some odd capacity. I have been eating stones all this time. How am I not dead? I mean, they say kidney stones are bad, and I remember reading that book called Stone Soup as a kid, but I was still alive. I felt dumber than a box of rocks though, which is actually kind of funny because that's what I've been eating and stuff. What I'm getting at is this. Fred Flintstone was hiding alchemy from the world. He discovered a way to turn mundane rocks into a consumable product. Since this time, he began mass-producing it and selling it to the world. Alchemy was most notably practiced as trying to turn other elements into gold, or even to bestow immortality on those who achieved the purest form of alchemy. Many people sought out the Philosopher's Stone, which was the pinnacle of all things alchemic. However, if discovered, one could ultimately use it in any way they wanted. Fred Flintstone didn't want gold. He saw the big picture. Gold is ultimately useless to life, but nourishment is not. It's like that one tale about the two people traveling to the desert who are both carrying gold and water. One person eventually trades all their gold away for the other person's water, because their life is more valuable, and the person obsessed with value ended up dying. Fred Flintstone was hiding Fruity Pebbles in all its variants from Barney because he knew that no one could discover what he had discovered. In some ways, it was more about how his best friend knew something was now odd about Fred, and this new cereal. Which was absolutely delicious, not gonna lie. A way to feed all of humanity for the ages, but also a way to keep it in constant demand. If Fred simply mass-produced gold, then gold would become worthless over time as it would degrade in value. It would no longer be a rarity. But food, on the other hand, need to constantly be made. So instead you mass-produce food that is created from rocks, distribute around the world, and make just as much money as you would have with gold, without destroying the value of what you do. It makes you wonder about the real purpose behind why Fred worked at the stone quarry after all. He had wealth beyond measure, and his impact is still felt today. And as we shovel in these fruity and cocoa flavored rocks, grinding away and propelling into our sugar high, We are ingesting a form of science that has long since been forgotten, but one that has been right on our spoons all along. Fred Flintstone, you devious, devious man. Thanks for tuning in to this serial quest into the past. If you'd like to join me on my YouTube voyage and actually watch some decent content other than serial lore, then the subscribe button is just what you're looking for. Thanks for watching, guys and gals, and until my next video, cheers. You've made it to the end of the video, but wait, your quest isn't over yet. If you like this video, I highly recommend checking out some of my other videos below. If you haven't watched my Cinnamon Toast Crunch video, boy oh boy are you in for a treat. There's a slew of other videos on my channel too, so regardless, I hope you enjoy.